Welcome to Kitchen Table Conversations. I'm Dr. Janetta Edwards, and today we're going to talk about moms on a mission. Moms are always on a mission. We always try to make it happen and make it do what it do. But what's the part that people don't talk about? The part, the struggles and the barriers and stuff that we face that we don't talk about. So today we want to talk about that. We want to talk about some of the stuff that we go through in trying to be the best mom on a mission. So ladies, welcome. Come on to the table with Auntie so we can sit in here and talk about what we're going to talk about. So today I want you to tell me your name, how many children you have, your career, and why this topic.
First, okay, my name is Ashley Montgomery, and I have two children. My son is 10 years old, and my daughter is 7. I am now working as a behavioral adolescent at a behavioral development center. I am a shift lead for a girls group home. I've been doing this now for 3 years. And far as why I chose this, because it fits me. I am a mom on a mission. I am an entrepreneur. I'm a mother. I am someone who is educated and currently in school to get my degree for a bachelor's in social work. So yeah, I just feel like this was the perfect topic for me.
Yeah. Hey, come on, girl, do it. All right.
My name is Chastity McNeil. I'm a post-secondary success coach for an education nonprofit. I have 2 children and 2 boys. One boy who will be 1 this month, and then I have a 4-year-old as well. Now I chose this topic because, like Ashley said, it fits. There's so much that they don't tell you about being a mom, and that they do try to warn you about, but you don't know until you on it. So
You under these waters, and you trying to swim.
yeah.
And you be saying, somebody send me a life raft. But we don't always have that. Everybody don't have a life raft. And so those of us who do are very grateful. But being a mama, you need somebody who can throw you a life raft.
Oh, for sure.
Every now and then. Girl, you can do it. Come on, keep swimming, keep swimming. Yeah, come on, I get the kids for you tonight. You know,
Community, yeah.
Right, a community. So I want to talk about the pressures of today's culture on moms. What pressure do you feel the most right now? Is it financial, emotional, societal, or eternal?
I would like to say it's internal. For me, it's very much so internal, because every day I strive to be like a good mom. I'm always like, okay, how can I do better than the day before? But it's something that like I'm trying to find a balance with, because I feel like I beat myself up a lot, but I do so much for them, and I do so much for myself and my husband, and it's like give yourself some credit. So it's been an internal thing for me, like working through that. Like, you're not in this alone. Give yourself grace, because some days it's gonna be easy, some days it's gonna be hard, and some days it's gonna be in between. But like during that time, like always, just give myself grace, because I've been working with the internal thing of feeling like I don't always do it right. Yep.
True. So when you say great, what does that mean for you?
Great for me. I always feel like a day when they're not like that, I don't let them down, or I keep my promise, or me working I work 10 to 12 hours each time I work. On my shifts are 10 to 12 hour shifts.
Wow.
So I miss that time with them. Although people like, how do you manage homeschool? We do have a system. I have a great support system, but sometimes I feel like they miss out on me, and I miss out on the big times with them. They play sports, they have practices and all things, and sometimes I don't get to make it to those things, but it's always for a greater cause. But sometimes they don't feel that way. It's like,
Give yourself grace, like you said, because we can't do it all. And thank God you have a support system, right?
Yeah.
How do you think you would do that without your support system?
oh, I wouldn't. I always tell my husband, listen, you go take your kids, because listen, I just feel like the support system is what make how I am where I am today. Like even coming here, like my mother-in-law had to help me, my sister-in-law came together just so that I can make it. My husband was working, and we just all figured it out. And that's what the support system does for me. Like we figure it all together, and if I did it, I don't know what I would do, because like that's that community for me.
It is, and you know what I think is great is that they give you an opportunity to be you.
Yes. Yes.
You're not stagnated in being the mom. And I think some of us in society tells us we have to put what we want on the back burner all the time to ensure that our children have everything. But the misnomer is, if I'm not secure, if my foundation is not set, then my children will falter.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's my biggest thing. It's definitely internal, but like societal. My sister calls me like a trad wife, a traditional wife. Like you gonna go and raise your kids, you cook, you clean and whatnot. But I'm also working too. What are your mom? So trying to work and then come home and then I still got more hours of work to do the baths. Because I'm the default parent too, right? My husband is definitely there. He steps up. He does everything that he can do. But yeah, it feels a lot. Like a lot is on me, and that's where that internal comes from. Because I do have a village, right? I have my husband who's definitely in the house. I have his family, I have my family, but it's me. I'm raising my kids. So yeah.
You don't want to say that anybody else raised your children. You want to say, I did everything I felt I needed to do for my children. Right? And not to mention, you're a doc student.
Yeah. Trying to work, trying to go to school.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's difficult. And having, like, going from 1 to the 2, oh my goodness, because they're so different. Like, my first son, I had him during the pandemic. So, like, everything was just kind of resting anyway already.
Yes.
But I was really nervous. I was really anxious to have my second son because I'm like, I don't have the pandemic to fall back on. Luckily, my job is remote, so that has really helped me. And just if I to take a nap real quick and make up those hours and whatnot, like it's been very helpful. But it's hard. Raising kids is a little hard.
You got to get them up. You look, boy, you got 15 minutes in that bathroom. You don't need to be in there no more than 15. We got one bathroom and all of us got to go in there. Your daddy, your sister, your brother, get on up and do what you got to do. And kids be in the bathroom sleeping. You trying to get them up. You trying to get them out the house. You trying to feed them. And I can't find my shoe. I don't know. Oh.
Yeah.
And all of that before you walk out the door in the morning. And then when I walk out the door in the morning and I get to work, I got to look like, some woman told me, she says, you don't look like you ever go through that. I said, baby, I need an Academy Award then. Because trust, before I got here, it was a struggle. And it's not always a mental struggle.
Yeah.
It's the struggle of life, of having a system to get your kids on and your family out and doing what you need to do. So ladies, thank you for sharing on that topic. The next thing I want to talk about is reinventing yourself. So at 25, my reinventing was ongoing. At 35, it became something a little different. At 45, I'd been in the gym. I had my weights. I was up. I was lifting, right? At 55, I was like, man, look. So at 62, it's a whole different game. A whole different game. So tell me, which force or inspired your reinvention?
What force inspired my reinvention? I want to say, I think living under the titles. So I just lived under my titles. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I go to school, I'm an educator, I'm all these things. It was when I say, like, well, who is Ashley? Like, let me find out who she is. So, and that kicked in, I'm going to be honest with you, this last year, I lived under a rock for a while, kind of like I just do the everyday life, went through the everyday motions of life. And then finally I was like, Ash, you got to do more, because you have a lot more to offer. It's a lot more you want to do. And I decided that I didn't want my dreams to just be dreams. I wanted to turn it into reality. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you. No problem. For sure. And I'll just say, like, kind of looking at last year again, like, becoming a mom is a complete mindset shift. I'm the type of young woman that would have gone out and whatnot. I'm living independently. My parents raised me to be self-sufficient, right? So then it's a mindset shift into I'm a wife, so I gotta make sure that my husband is okay, that he feels cool, not just cooking and cleaning, but like emotionally too. And then I got 2 little boys that I'm their mom. You know, I'm the driving force. I'm half of like what their mindset, what their foundation is and whatnot. So that's a lot of pressure. So kind of switching from that, but also knowing again, like, I'm Chastity, right? This is who I came in as, and I can still be that and instill that in them, right? But yeah, it's a mindset shift and knowing like you're gonna be you.
And in each, I think every 10 years the shift changes. every 10 years, a layer of those rosy glasses peel off. Every 10 years, I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Um, so, ladies, what did you have to unlearn to grow?
Um, Honestly, going back to that, I'm more than just again the roles that I play in life. I'm bigger than what people say I was gonna be. I'm bigger than what like my family dreams. I'm from my mom, my dad. They have a set life they had for me.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to do this, this, and this, and this. And when I did take another road for a long time, that was pondering on my heart. Like, dang, I messed up or I did the wrong thing. So we just kind of understand like you're gonna make bumps in the road. You gonna have bumps in the road. You got to take your own road though. So it might like look like this for them. They might want this for you, but you got to understand that you're actually it's your path, it's your road, and it might look different than what people expected from you. So when I just said like it's my path, and I'm gonna take it, however that looks. So yeah,
And then she said she gonna play it.
Yeah, every time. And for me, like, I'm a doer. I'm always been a doer. My parents raised me to just go out and be productive and whatnot. And, like, rest is productive, especially as a mom. Like, being able to just chill and, like, just be with your kids, be with your husband, and watch a movie and whatnot. Having, as a doctoral student, not having to, like, think through, ooh, let me think through this article, or, like, I got to write this, or I got to clean up. Just rest and in mode is something that sometimes I still struggle with, but it's getting better and better because I don't want to miss out on my kids, my husband. These are like core memories that I'm making right
Yes.
now.
Yes, yes. So what fears almost stopped you?
Whew. What people thought of you. I would say that. Sorry if y'all read that.
but it was really what people thought of me. I always said again because I didn't do it the way people expected me to, or I even desired for myself. Because I think I had a life in mind that I wanted for myself, and when I did take another road, it was like fear instantly. Like I can't do this anymore. I did it all wrong. So now I have to find a way to make it right, but I didn't know what right looked like for a minute.
Mhm.
So it put a big fear, big stop for even doing something like this. I would have never. I'm gonna tell you guys, maybe about a year or two ago, you could have never asked or thought of me sitting here and doing this with you guys, because fear was my biggest thing. I had to realize it doesn't exist. It's kind of something made up. We make it up. It's not there. Really, it's like for me, it's like stepping back into reality. Actually, like you're in control of your life. That's going back into that. Like stepping out. You got to step out. You can't live under a rock anymore. So the thing was, it's like, okay, Ash, like fear can't live here. It can't dwell in this place. So yeah. Realizing it can't dwell.
I just didn't want to lose myself. And I've always wanted to be a wife to mom from like age 2. I can remember my mom sucking me in on like, I want to do this. I want to have the kids. I want to have a husband. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And like getting here, it's like, okay, I've done it. So now what else do I do?
What else?
So not just losing myself in, I'm gonna be this wife and this mom. I can't do this, and then what else can I do?
So God's not the author of fear,
No.
right? So fear immobilizes us and it shuts us down, and our mind can't breathe, and it brings on anxiety and depression and a lot of other things from the mental health standpoint. So what I realized, what almost stopped me, was not being my whole self. I was incongruent, meaning I was being who society thought I should be. But that rough and tumble girl that saved my life, I kept her bottled up. Because I didn't want her out. She got out, she didn't know how to get back in. So what I've learned at the age of 50 is to let her out and give her an opportunity to breathe, so that we could be the person we needed to be. I wasn't me. I was being who, and people would say and do things that would hurt me and offend me. And although I knew what I could do, I wouldn't do. So what she became was a protector for me. So when people, come for me, I know how to stand my ground, because she's been out long enough. She a little, humble. She's been out long enough. She know how to handle herself. So I can handle the situation in a very appropriate way, or I can handle a situation in a way that's going to keep me safe.
Yeah.
Say a little word. Safe, right? So fear almost let me keep her bottled up. I'm a force to be reckoned with when she's out.
For sure.
I can walk in peace because She not gonna let nobody hurt me, and I'm not gonna let her be stupid.
Yeah.
That, right? So understand, if you could reinvest one area, and this is to the audience, if you could invest one area of your life right now, what would it be? What would be that reinvestment? I want you to think about that and then drop a comment down there and let us know what you thought about that. So the next question are for entrepreneurs, and I know we got two here sitting here with me. Why entrepreneurship?
Why not? Well, honestly, I just like to take ownership over my life,
Okay.
right? Again, living in control of other people. One of the biggest things is I always had a dream, which also plays in a part of the dream my mom had and the type of life she lived. She always helped people out. She was always a
Oh,
helping
my God.
hand to the young, especially to the young. I had so many people live with. No, my mom didn't have a foster care, y'all. She didn't have any type of decent, none of that going on. She didn't have no certificates.
But everybody lived.
But everybody lived in
Everybody.
my house. It was a
Everybody.
rotation. My mom kept the community safe, and that's all we knew was her keeping people
Yeah.
safe. She had a kid at 18, and I turned around and got pregnant at 19 and had my son at 20. And at that time, it was just me and my son until my husband entered my life like 6 months later. And once he entered my life, we started our family. We ended up having my daughter some years later. But it kind of sparked this thing in me. Like, I remember being down and out. I remember not having that community. And that's when it made me think about, well, what God placed in my heart was Mama's in Motion. And it's just like it was my program in the community for women to just, kind of like, let's celebrate progress over perfection. You know,
I like that.
I like stillness over motion, and like before we compare ourselves, let's just be a helping hand to one another. Like, let's all be here as community, and sometimes we don't have that, and that's just what a lot of moms need too, because it's like something outside of the family, like the husband,
Yep,
and just
yep.
being the wife,
Yep.
and the kids, and just raising them. It's like we need something outside of that, someone to just talk to, and it don't always have to be about like our business and things, like our church,
Chit-chat.
just chit chat, like how like right now.
Like just a
What we
little
doing right
chit-chat,
now, like
right,
just
right.
having conversation.
Yeah.
So I've been working hard on that for some years now, and it's here in the next couple of months. It'll be going into flourishing. We will, be on all social media. So
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Excited. I love to hear that. Come on, girl, let's stay go.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I've been just thinking on like my biggest thing is education. And I'm very much about like just helping people help themselves, like helping them come to the realization this is what I need, this is what I can do to improve myself, this is what I can do to improve my family, my legacy and whatnot. So my thing is education. I'm an Army brat as well. I'm a Chicago transplant, so I come from like a lot of different educational systems and whatnot. I've been to like 10 different schools, 4 different universities. So I see things from a different lens, and I think that's what entrepreneurship takes is like
That's
you
good.
see these gaps,
Yep.
and you come in with
Yeah.
lens
I
that
would
you
feel
come
that.
as
Yeah,
telling.
yeah.
You can't come with what everybody else is coming with, and you gonna do the thing. You gotta feel
Feeling
that.
that.
I think
Feeling the gap.
Yeah, so that's where I'm from.
And filling the gap with your gifts and your talents.
Yes.
Not being able to do it with what God has already given us to do it with. I don't have to pull something from the sky. You realize I have been gifted to do.
yes,
It's
for
natural
natural.
to do.
It's natural.
yeah.
It's
You
organic.
breathe it.
Yeah.
Right? If you think about all the education about Black history coming out, that it wasn't just one particular, Wall Street. There were several little towns like that throughout the United States of America where Black people said, you don't want us. They decided to do their own thing and were excelling and was making money, and the money was circulating within the community, right? Unstoppable. And then people got mad and came and destroyed it. But see, it's a different, like I said, it's a different generation now.
For sure.
We different.
Hold on,
So-
it's a sign.
Right. So we not. That's all I'm gonna say. We not.
We not.
Right. So we out here. We like, yeah, I'm gonna get this. I'm going for it. I'm hungry. So even with being hungry, let me ask you this: what boundaries have you set? Changed everything for you?
I would say like really knowing yourself, like, you talking about spiritual gifts, like I work in post-secondary. I feel like I'm an expert in post-secondary in
Yes.
ways that other people
Okay,
are not,
okay.
right? I can speak confidently on it, and it's a special gift. Like I'm not an athlete.
Yes.
I don't hoop well, like I'm not really gifted in like
But you
math.
hooping in that education, girl.
Yeah.
You hooping in education,
appreciate
right?
that.
Right.
Like that is a gift that
Mhm.
God gave me, right? And He gave me this gift to use.
Yes.
So going out and being able to use this gift to help others, help the community, help the people, right? My brothers and sisters, is something that I have to do. It's like,
It's a push.
it's a
You feel like
responsibility.
push.
It's a duty that I
Yes.
have to
Uh-huh.
do, and getting other people, that is my gift, and understanding, like, helping people understand what their gift is as well. This joy that I have in doing what I do, just naturally, like, you have something too.
Mhm.
So let's do that. Let's find out what it is and let's do it.
Love that. Okay, I'll say mine was making sure keeping my cup full. And it's a boundary where you have to set boundaries with people to keep your cup full, because people would take until you have nothing else to give.
A straw.
Suck your dry.
Suck you dry.
So yeah, so mine was like creating, my boundary was keeping my cup full, however that looks.
Mhm.
So if that means that today I can't have this conversation, or I can't indulge in this, or kids I need to rest, or my husband I need a break or to breathe,
Mhm.
so I can regroup and get back to me. That's what I do, and it took me a long time for me to become this person, or even get to this place, because I used to be like, what do everybody else need? What do everybody else
And
want?
feel guilty.
Yeah,
when you
and feel
didn't meet
guilty.
everybody's expectations.
Yes, like cup was empty. Mental health is horrible.
Right.
And I'm still like, oh God, like what can I do for somebody else? And it was like, actually, you got to be a little selfish. And listen, with some selfless in you, but definitely be a little selfish with your time and, like, your mental health, your spiritual, and your life. So yeah,
Yeah.
pour into your
Function,
cup.
yeah, it's a
Yep.
practical function.
Yes. And be intentional.
Ooh, I love that one.
I'm gonna go get my lashes done. Well, where you at? I'm on my way to the lash lady. Where you at? I'm finna get my nails done. Now when my kids were little, I couldn't afford all of that. I couldn't do all that.
Yeah.
So I had other things like going to the gym or the weekend with my friends when it was our birthday. I couldn't wait. It was my birthday, somebody's birthday. I'll leave the kids at home with their daddy. I'll be on a whole weekend with nobody saying mommy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was in seventh heaven, right? It's those little things, right? So let me ask you ladies about navigating the career spaces. Have you ever felt like you had to choose between being a good mom and a successful woman?
Every day. Sorry, I must say
Yeah.
every day. Every day.
Uh-huh.
I feel like that's what even going back to what we were originally talking about with me working the 10 and 12-hour shifts and missing out on some things, or just having to sacrifice. Like, they need this, I got to go do this. And it's that guilt of like, dang, but I'm not present, I'm not here. But I just know the sacrifice in the long run, which is what I had to tell myself,
Right.
to pay off. And it really, they'll honor and respect this, because
Yes.
it's a bigger purpose and a bigger life for them.
Yeah.
And not even big. And I know this thing when people say like, "Oh, I want my kids to have a better life than me." It's not even that. I'm not even competition with my old life or what happened to me. My parents only did what they could with what they had.
Yeah,
So I'm just
absolutely.
doing what I could with what I have.
Yes,
So
yes.
and however that looks, and hopefully it's just greater and bigger than what I've experienced. So yeah.
And my kids, like you said, just want to be present. I want to make these core memories, right?
Yes.
I worked, my background is in higher education before nonprofits. So a lot of higher education is student affairs and is working with students. So
Yes.
like the student orgs and the population, especially that I work with, is underrepresented, low income, first generation. So they need a little bit more attention too. So it's staying after hours. It's making sure that you show up for their events and whatnot, because they need that. They need to know that their
need to
support
see you.
system is there, right?
Yep.
And I was able to do that before I had kids.
Mhm.
So now it's like, dang, I'm stifling my career because I'm trying to make some memories for my
Yes,
kids, right?
Yes.
But my kids are important. I just went to a field trip on Friday with my son to a children's museum, the Bronzeville Children's Museum, fabulous museum. He enjoyed that so much that he enjoyed me being there. So like, these are real sacrifices I can make. Like, I got the rest of my life to work, but he's only going to be this age for this long.
So that's what I mean about being intentional. I was a calendar person, so I had each one of my kids had calendars on their doors. I had one major calendar in my bedroom. I needed to know where every piece on the puzzle was. So that meant I had to leave work early or do something because somebody was playing a game or somebody was singing or somebody was doing this. I didn't make it all. I didn't. And you made the ones that you could make, right? Or you make moments when you sitting on the floor watching movies or we cooking. It's the simple things. Now that I have grandchildren, I look back and I talk to my children. It was those little bitty simple things. And sometimes we think it's the big things, but it's them little bitty simple things, right? So as a mom, leadership looks different. When your children see you out here working, they see you out here doing homework, they see you out here, it sets a foundation. You don't have to be me, but I've set a bar. So either you gonna meet me or beat me, what you want? What you gonna do? You know, you don't have to get a college degree, but you have to be able to sustain yourself, right? And so then what do the grandchildren see? What are they looking at? Are they looking at you building? Or are they looking at you sitting by letting life go by? And sometimes it means sacrifice. Sometimes I can't make the game because I have to be at work, or I can't do this because I have to do that. And they don't understand it as a child, but as they get older, they realize, oh, well, that's real life. That's what real life is all about, right? Staying true to yourself. How many of you still feel like you still figuring it out?
Yeah. I
Already
always say,
figuring
like,
it out.
dang, I am the adult in the room. Like, when my kids have anything going on, it could be as small as, dang, he had an accident. Like, dang, I gotta clean that up because I'm his mom. You know, it can be difficult, but it's rewarding too. Like, especially as an educator, as a researcher, as a doctoral student, like, I have these conditions, like, this is my little experiment. Like, if I put these variables in, then
Yep.
he should turn out kind of this way, my hypothesis, right? So,
Yep.
Sorry. Please forgive me. Can you please react? I'll make sure I answer appropriately.
You know what? Don't worry about it. Let's go to another.
Okay.
What does leadership look like as a mom?
Ooh. That's just the example, the forefront, the face, and I feel like the leadership I take in my outside life, like you said, as an education, in my work field, we're the example. This is what they see, and this is like it's the bar, and either you're there and go above. I'm just playing off how you know what you say. Right, that's really just going back into that is real. So I think too, just me showing up and how I look and how I handle situations. Realizing I am their example in all areas though, so I teach them how to respond to things, and that's why I watch like tempo, like your anger, your attitude, your mood, it all plays a part in it, and that's what the leadership was like. Okay, how are you going to show them to like show up in the world? And they may not take that, but how does that look? So I think every day is like, all right, Ash, how you going to wake up today? And how are you going to show your kids how to show up in the world? And then like crazy that they just kind of, they go with that. You know, they go feed off mom, and I give them, you know, show up every day the way I'm supposed to with that smile. And if I don't have a smile, I'm very transparent with them.
Right.
Just showing them what transparency look like too. Like, because parenting might be too, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it.
Your mom's still not feeling it.
And moms cannot feel it. So just showing them too, that's what leadership look like too, being able to be honest. Like, you know what I'm saying, when you lead your family, you're going to lead with emotions sometimes. But you will lead with emotions. It's like, what does those emotions look like? And then how do you show them how to handle that and just place all these emotions, where to put them, and how we respond to things, even when we're not feeling the best.
How do you recoup after you blow up?
Yeah. Oh,
reflection.
blow up.
Reflection is very, very important. Like, it's not just like, I did this right, but what could I have done, right? Like, was that the right decision? Why wasn't it the decision? What could I have done different? Like, why? All those different things, and just talking through and modeling. Modeling too.
Yes.
Being able to apologize.
Yes.
Like,
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Please.
Even to your children.
Yeah, to your children.
See, you know, the generation before, they didn't feel like, they just had a different mindset on how to do things. I believe that if you feel you've hurt a child, or a child comes and says, you hurt me in this way, you should hear them.
Yeah.
And validate their feelings. I don't agree with what you did, and maybe, you know, mommy could have handled it a different way, right? but I still feel how I feel.
Yeah. But I'm sorry. And the thing
But I don't
is-
mean to hurt you,
Yeah, yeah.
but you upset me and made me blow my top. So I'm sorry for blowing my top, but it don't change how
What
I
you did,
feel
yeah.
about what you did.
But I won't invalidate your feelings for mine. Because I think
Yes.
as a parent, too, you can't invalidate theirs. So in the same
Yes,
moment,
yes.
two things could be true at once.
Yes,
What you
absolutely.
did probably wasn't right, but my response actually matters,
Yes.
too. So, yeah.
Yeah. I shouldn't have hollered at you at the top of my lungs.
Yeah.
So now let's sit down and talk about what you did.
Mm-hmm.
Giving them a voice. Because you have to, if you don't give them a voice at home, then they don't know they can have a voice in the world.
Yeah.
And then people take advantage of that, right? And you have to tell them, no, stand your ground. My mother told me, she said, the best thing you can know is your rights. And education is something they can never take from you.
Yeah.
So I stand on that, right?
Yeah, I love that. I'm not gonna stop trusting.
But you can't not know your rights and people trying to violate, your rights. We don't have to shrink to succeed. I don't have to minimize what I love to do and who I want to become and be smaller to make you feel comfortable. Corporate America made me feel that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Was in there from the time, I was hired in February and I wasn't even 21 yet. I didn't turn 21 until that November. So once I turned 21, I was able to hang out and do everything. Well, I was doing that before because I was in a corporate environment. I was working my hair at Spain. And some women would try to make me feel less than, right? Talking to you any kind of way. And I had to learn how to stand up for myself. And I didn't have to shrink. Something my brother used to tell me, he said, I'm so tired of dumbing down my intelligence and make other people feel.
Yeah.
What's wrong with being intelligent? And then they automatically assume or presume that you're less than. I was a single mother. I came from the hood, but nobody knew I came from the hood.
Yeah.
But people would judge you. You would feel judged. And so I learned to put up this brick wall and shrink myself down to make other people feel comfortable. And one day I woke up and said, I'm not going to do that no more. They don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Right? In a world where being black, a black woman is challenging, especially in certain environments. I found it to be extremely challenging in education. Corporate America, I kind of knew them.
Yeah.
And when I got into education, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
You would think. Yeah, right. That's simple to
Wait.
control. Yeah.
What? Don't play with me. Stop playing with me.
Inside.
Right.
You'll come out.
I've had to tell people, look, I'm going to come to your office and have a sit down
Yeah.
and shut the
Talk heart to
door
heart.
and
That's it.
say, did you really mean to talk to me that way in that email? Well, what I meant was no. Don't ever speak to me in that manner.
Yeah. And we are responsible how somebody interprets us. And I think people fail to realize that. Because I hear oftentimes people like, well, it's not my fault that you saw it this way or read it this way. But no, it's your job to make sure that when somebody reads something or they interpret something for you, and if it's intended to be positive or to be motivating or to help them out, that it seem as such and no confusion with that. So,
Right.
yeah.
And you have to, and people, they being, they tripping or are y'all also sensitive?
No. No. You're tired.
Stop.
And you gotta play with me.
Yeah. Right.
Don't do that.
Stop stepping
I'm
across
not
the line.
that one.
Yeah. And what hurts me the most is when I have to check a black woman. That breaks my heart. But I'm used to the, white women trying to come for me. But when a sister come for me,
Yeah.
I was on a call talking finances with a bank, and she came for me, and I was on Zoom, and I felt myself doing this. What's a crazy? Excuse me? Excuse me? So when the meeting was all over, my husband came running upstairs. He was like, baby, what was going on? You about to give it to her. I said, I was about to give it to her. And it hurt me that I had to raise up and check a sister about coming for me. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
You don't want the smoke, because I'll give it to you. Quickly.
Okay, God said be slow to anger. Okay, so don't be as quick,
So,
but keep playing.
it's not so much as quick to give it to you.
But it's in there.
It's a trigger for me when black women come for me, and I swallow it. So never disrespectful, but very intentional.
Yes.
And
Love
not
that.
talking to me in the way that you are. When she said, well, I've been in nonprofit and I know this. I said, this is not my first rodeo.
Yeah.
I fully understand the numbers you gave me. And I'm explaining to you that although my nonprofit says this, my for-profit is this. And that's what you missed. That's what I'm trying
Right.
to get the point to you. And stop talking over me. And then we ended the conversation.
Yeah. We almost took you back. Let's.
Right.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
have to, give into that. When black women come for me, it's a trigger for me.
Yeah.
I can deal with the white women, and it don't always trigger me.
Yeah.
Not always, but I had those moments, even at this age, even being a therapist, that sometimes you'll find in life that people will, it's just something about them that
Yeah.
will trigger you.
Yeah.
Right? And so what do? And then I had to come back and pray about that, say, Lord, woo, get that up off of me. And I'm finna dust my feet and move on. And I did. I dust my feet and I move on, and I'm bigger and greater things. So ladies, after these questions we've asked and talking about moms on a mission, what would you like to tell our audience about being moms on a mission?
First thing I'd like to say, never give up. And I know for some people, like, that's very cliche, like, what is it? Never give up. I mean, like, literally, no matter what nobody say, what nobody think, how many times you have to start over, just keep going. Because it's a journey. It's a journey. It may not be easy, and some days it's going to be really hard, but you got to wake up and be like, I'm going to try again. I'm going to keep on doing this because I have a mission, and I'm going to complete it, and I'm going to follow whatever purpose God has for me. So I say never give up and keep going. Like,
Thank you. My two biggest things is like give yourself grace, because every mom's journey is just different.
Yeah.
Everybody's mission is different. We're not on the same journey or mission, trying to do the same thing. So we got different tools, different resources,
Yes,
and
yes.
build up your village.
Yes.
I don't believe a mom really that doesn't have a village. Like
Mhm.
you gotta have, whether it's dad, whether it's parents, whether you build your own family, like you need other people, and your children need other people too, who need different perspectives to really be effective and really be productive and successful in the world. So build up your village and give yourself grace.
Thank you, ladies, for that. Thank you for sitting at the table and leaving it on the table and
Yes.
being real and honest and comfortable. So, when you watch this video, please subscribe, like, comment, and watch out for our next episode. We thank you for sitting at the table and having kitchen table conversations with Dr. J, as they call me, and peace.
The pandemic to fall back on. Luckily, my job is remote, so that has really helped me. And just if I were to take a nap real quick and make up those hours and whatnot, like it's been very helpful. But it's hard. Yeah, raising this is a little hard.
You got to get them up. You look, boy, you got 15 minutes in that bathroom. You don't need to be in there no more than 15. We got one bathroom and all of us got to go in there. Your daddy, your sister, your brother, get on up and do what you got to do. And if the kids be in the bathroom sleeping, you trying to get them up, you trying to get them out the house, you trying to feed them, and I can't find my sheep. I don't know. Oh,
Yeah.
and all of that before you walk out the door in the morning. And then when I walk out the door in the morning and I get to work, I gotta look like, some woman told me, she says, you don't look like you ever go through that. I say, baby, I need a mechanic. Hello to all you moms on a mission out there, trying to make things do what they do, and taking care of our families is not an easy place to be, because we can be ambitious and nurturing. We can be structured and soft. We can be strategic and spiritual. And here at Mother's Love, we don't just support mothers, we support women with missions. So let's get about being about the business of the mission that God has given us all. Peace.